Good morning. This is Thursday, July the 2nd, and this is our weekly COVID update briefing. As of this morning, the Bossier Parish has experienced 906 positive cases of the COVID. That's an increase of 186 since last week, and our deaths in the parish are 31, which is up 3 from our report last week. As most people know, we were not able to proceed into phase 3 because we did not meet the federal gating criteria. And that criteria, I'll review it just for informational purposes. It requires that for a 14-day period, we must have a downward trajectory in the following areas: flu-like illnesses, COVID-like symptom cases, documented cases of COVID-19, or positive test results as a percent of the total number of tests, and hospitals being able to treat all patients without crisis care, and robust testing for all healthcare workers. Dr. Whyte recently indicated that an increasing problem for us is the young adults. The Louisiana Department of Health and Hospitals has found that 51% of the new cases come from young adults, generally considered to be persons between the age of 18 and 29. So what are the preventive and mitigations procedures that we should all be following? We say it every week, but we can't stress it too much. And they are wear of face masks in public and mass transit, washing and sanitizing hands, sneezing into your elbow, avoid touching your face, stay home when you're sick, and follow the guidance of your medical providers. We're all concerned about the vulnerable population, and that's generally defined as persons age 65 or older, and individuals in this age range should shelter in place. There are several other conditions that indicate a serious underlying medical conditions that make persons vulnerable, and they include serious heart disease, chronic lung disease, and chronic kidney disease, liver disease, undergoing dialysis, high blood pressure, severe obesity, asthma and diabetes, compromised immune system, or living in a nursing home or long-term care facility. Those are all persons or conditions which puts one in the vulnerable category. Everyone, when in public places, such things as parks, recreation areas, shopping areas, or social settings, of 50 or more people should be avoided where social distancing is not practical. Testing has increased significantly within the state. The governor indicated yesterday that there were 185,000 tests in the state in June, and contact tracing remains a very active thing. We ask people to cooperate with the contact tracing. It's very important. It's generally conceded that this virus is spread more from person to person contact, people being in close proximity and not adhering to the mitigation procedures. Businesses, if you need more information about what is permitted on the occupancy and so on, feel free to contact the State Fire Marshal's office, but also Chief Zagone will give you some contact information for his department that you can get some more information that may be applicable to your individual businesses. As of this week, with the following non-essential businesses remain closed to the public: amusement parks, splash pads, children's play centers, concerts and music halls, festivals, indoor play centers, water parks, arcades, fairs, and theme parks. Also, we continue to ask citizens who have business with the city, we would request that you call and make an appointment. And also, we ask that if you have the capability and feasible to pay your bills online. At this time, we'll have our two department heads for public safety make remarks, and our first speaker will be Chief Zagone from our fire department.
Thank you, Mayor. Once again, a special thank you to the first responders, healthcare workers, everybody out there on the front line. We've seen it actually hit more closer to home here lately. Without going into great detail, special thanks to LSU Health and Dr. Martha Whyte for assisting us with getting us some nasal swabs that we were able to test some crews to make sure they're safe and didn't have an exposure. We updated a few of our guidelines to help protect the crews. Inside the trucks now, you'll see them wearing a mask, except for the driver if he's wearing glasses. That would cause them to fog up, but the other crew members in there will have a N95 mask on. We're currently trying to get some more PPE. We constantly are trying that, and I want to reiterate what the mayor said about social distancing. Please pay attention to social distancing, wearing of a mask in public, and please stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I would also like to thank the first responders and the medical community for being on the front line during this pandemic. I'd also like to thank the citizens of Bossier for adhering to the guidelines that's been set forth. Due to your due diligence, the police department has been able to just really concentrate on normal calls for service, and we really hadn't been inundated with COVID-related incidents. Again, I want to thank you for your due diligence on that. That really helps us out to be able to just address normal activity. I'd also like to remind people that you have to conduct business with the police department. If you can do it via telephone or email, we encourage that. But I'll also remind you that our front lobby is open to the public. If you do have a need to come to the police department, it's a lot more beneficial if you can make an appointment with whatever specific division that you need, patrol, detectives such as that. And you can call our non-emergency number at 741-8605. And also I want to remind people that if you feel like you're being a victim of a scam, you can call our non-emergency number at 741-8605. Whatever it might be, how minor you think it is, don't just let it go. Call and report it so we can follow up on it for you. And remind you, don't give out any personal information, social security numbers, date of birth, anything like that over the phone. Having said all that, thank you. Have a good day.
Yesterday, the governor, in his remarks to the public, indicated that our trend is not good. In fact, it's reversing. The results are very distressing. We're having an increase in numbers of people having to go to the hospital, an increasing number of positive tests. He indicated that the government, that at his level, the state was going to do a deep dive into the data surrounding this and see what recommendations might be appropriate. But he also said that if this reversal of negative things are not corrected, they're going to have to consider more restrictive actions. It was confirmed that plan now is still open schools in August, but it'll be a new normal for school, and more details will be forthcoming on that in the near future. The governor had also indicated last week that the state was doing courtesy calls to businesses to make sure they were aware of what the restrictions were on social distancing and masks and numbers of people, etc., and that such courtesy calls were not punitive but just to assist the businesses. However, in light of the current unsatisfactory trend, he has indicated that this follow-up is going to be more robust, I believe was his words, and he went so far as to say that citizens should seriously not consider patronizing businesses that they observe are not wearing masks and following the social distancing, and that would be one way to bring them into compliance. So it was discussed also in the governor's press conference about whether the state should mandate the wear of face masks or face coverings. The governor indicated that it would not be done at this time at the state level. However, if particular parishes and cities elected to, that would be their call, and some of the larger cities in the South are in fact doing that. I think Baton Rouge and New Orleans and possibly one or two others. We don't have plans to do that at this time, but we strongly urge that all the citizens follow the mitigation and prevention procedures. We're all in this together, and we simply all must comply with that if we're going to prevent going back to a more restrictive situation, which none of us want. The governor asks that we all be good neighbors. When you wear a mask, you're protecting those around you. When they wear a mask, they're protecting you, and that's what we all have to do, is protect one another. And again, I want to stress that the governor tactfully indicated that if we do not adhere to these preventive and mitigation actions, we in all probability will have to have more restrictions issued from the state level. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be dealing with this for a long time, and it just takes all of us to exercise our individual responsibility to fight this pandemic situation. So that's all in our briefing for today. We wish everybody a happy 4th of July, but make it a safe one, make it a common sense one. Enjoy your family. And that will conclude our briefing for today. Our next briefing will be Thursday, July the 9th. Thank you.